All right, the audio is working. Hey, and welcome back. I did some adjustments here by getting my camera set up, and also setting up OBS. I'm not a overly big fan of OBS just because I don't know how to work it. So the other day we had a sketchbook tour of the book that's just after this one. This is the start of the sketchbook that are dedicated and focused on improving my drawing ability and to, I guess, kind of squeeze out any of the bad habits over the years of drawing. So I started this one back in October on the 18th of 2025. I really enjoy using the Denic sketchbooks. You can go on to Denic, I think it's denic.com, and you can customize your own sketchbooks with the covers, and has a nice paper. So basically all of the focus is about breaking down form into the simplest shapes possible, and this is my journey, basically starting on like Broken Draw and his I can't remember if it was 25 or 50 drawing exercises to improve just your fundamentals and your foundations. Sorry, I just picked at a cuticle and it started to bleed. Not a good time for that. But anyways, keep on moving here. You can see this is the start of me drawing like boxes and so on and so forth. And I did start in pencil, but quickly moved to pen. Once again, this is just looking at form with animals and trying to break things down to simple form, and same with some of the anatomy, looking at just different things. And I think this is where like the ArtWOD or the ArtWOD stuff began. This is me kind of dissecting and breaking down the hand in my own manner. And then I can't remember if these were drawing from reference or drawing from imagination. And then here we got a 5-point perspective, me sitting at Coffee Culture doing some 5-point perspective. I haven't done a whole lot of 5-point perspective stuff. I'm going to start doing more studies like that when I start doing more daily exercises. I'll be doing probably some drawing here on the live stream as well, doing my daily exercises and kind of taking you through my process and where I'm at in the day. Sometimes I just kind of let it develop on its own and go from there. But there's me breaking the mannequin down into simpler forms and shapes, and another 5-point perspective that I did sitting at the library. And here we got some more, drawing, stacking boxes and drawing some more forms. And then here we got a little bit of animal studies. And then we have, oh, somebody decided to turn on the shower. You can really hear that in here. But anyways, I think these ones were drawing from reference, these faces. These ones below are drawing from imagination or taking the references. Once again, just kind of breaking things down. I think up here I started with a box and then used some of the Loomis methods, cutting into form, I think at the beginning when I started this, I was doing a trying to find a comfy spot here on this chair, but basically cutting into form. I started with a light blue marker and then worked over top of it with another felt tip. And then you have some, drawing vehicles. Started with a box and then started drawing different vehicles into the box. And here we go. We got some more forms, and hold that page down a little bit, and then drawing a Porsche engine. Yeah, just messing around and playing with different techniques here. And these are targeting some of the patterning on form. I was just drawing a lizard, and I started getting more into patterns when using the fundamental form and working on that. Really focused on value studies over the second part of this sketchbook. The reason why I'm doing this too, also the video, is so that I can track my progression over the next year or two, and I can already see now that the progression has improved. And then here on this side, just drawing different forms from different angles. My daughter's home, you can hear bass booming. And this is drawing from imagination, but on a 5-point perspective. I kind of gave up on this. I was just a little bit frustrated by the way things were looking and turning out, but I think I might have closed the book down and waited till the next day before I started going into more drawing, and then I'm breaking down some more. I think it's from what I did is I went from drawing like a two-dimensional image of guns, and then translating the two-dimensional images to three-dimensional images, and doing ribbons and other things as well. I was taking a course at Proko as well. There was a course that came up with the guy that draws mechs, so I started taking that course, and this is me kind of working through some of the process of his techniques and adding stuff, and then starting with basic perspective grids and kind of working through some of the structures, just trying to come up with ideas that I like, and then again kind of bouncing back to the hand and playing around with a little bit of anatomy and bone, and just looking at some of the proportions, and once again revisiting more of the technical aspect of that mech course that I was taking on Proko. And here again, looking at the simple anatomy, everything broken down into simple forms, and a mechanical lag that I kind of constructed, and then getting more again into the mannequin and playing around with drawing the mannequin. And I think a lot of the mannequin I think both of these pages were all mannequins from imagination. So yeah, just having fun and drawing, and then some more head studies, how heads fit into boxes, and a little bit of skull and neck connection anatomy. And I'm not sure whose video I was looking at, but yeah, just playing around with mouth, facial features, more gestural stuff, then getting back into the forms, I can definitely see that my confidence in my drawing forms in perspective has improved in the last couple months. And then again, we got some more cutting into shapes and volumes, and then randomly stacking and building different volumes and forms together. And here, just some more head drawing. Here, a bigger influence, or not an influence, but a bigger focus on tonal variation and value, exploring the planes of the face a little bit more. And on the left hand side, this is a drawing from imagination. Just got really weird, but more towards the mechanical side. And I think this is the very first like drawing from imagination that I did after doing some of these studies. And I found too that I was really apprehensive and fearing kind of taking those steps into drawing from imagination. Just more scared about the outcome and the final piece and what it would look like. But now I'm just kind of more jumping into it. It's just trying to break through those barriers and get rid of that psychology behind trapping yourself as an artist and being afraid. Like, I remember in college, being a younger man, I had no fear. I kind of went in full throttle, and whatever the outcome was the outcome. And I think I need to take that approach again by going full in. But here, just playing around again with people sitting on a chair, and then these people doing some weird birthday cake thing, I don't really know, and getting into some more animal anatomy. That's another area that I really want to improve in, is understanding the digigrade, plantigrade, and I can't remember the third one, but really exploring the structure of anatomy and understanding, so that when I draw from imagination, I can metamorphosize basically whatever, create whatever kind of creatures, and do that as well. So I've just been digging into that. I think I was working on lizards and just unique and strange animals from different places around the world that were really neat. I can't remember the name of that one that I was drawing. But then again, we got me digging into that one book that I was talking about the last time, that pen and ink book. And these are just basically doing straight studies from the book. And then, playing and working on tonal values of like rocks and just different line effects. And I kept on digging into form, tone, and value, and just playing around, and then working on proportion, and also working on simplifying stuff, and working on rhinos and hyenas and water buffaloes. Here we got kind of like a neck of a rhino. Just getting a little bit more into some marker and so on and so forth. And over here we got some more mechanical structure. This is just basically me taking this and how this would open up to have a passenger. So thinking about mechanically, how's this thing going to break down? Another study, this was a a rock value study. I think I was following a tutorial online, and then, you know, adding some texture. And then this one's working a little bit more on ellipses. And definitely my ellipses have strengthened over the last couple months, digging more into understanding the connection of the head to the neck, and how the pectorals, and I'm not always 100% sure on the names of things, and then yeah, just the shoulder muscles, and then the traps. Just kind of digging a little bit more, and I haven't really dug overly that much into individual muscles. I've just been more focused on overlapping forms. I'll dig more into muscles when I've spent a lot more time drawing specific anatomy, understanding the form of each of the muscles and how they connect. And this one, what I did was quickly scribble an outline, and then brought form to the outline by creating, I was in a real mechanical kick in drawing mechs at that point. So, you know, I was just having fun and playing around and exploring. There's a few more. The one's kind of based on a mech that I actually created for like a kit bashing project. And then over here we got some more cutting into form, and then practicing just pen and how to indicate form and value by line work. And then a whole page of just control, trying to control the weight of the pen, and then more control studies, more value and form studies. And then here I was getting into just kind of more like sketchy studies with the pen, and, you know, some more head studies, some more studies from that one pen and ink book, more studies from that pen and ink book, and then taking some of those studies and then applying them to animals, but then, you know, figuring basic direction of how my line will move over the form. And yeah, just more studies, like swatches, and then getting into organic shapes and forms and contouring, more contouring, indicating form and value, and yeah, just indicating value on forms from light by, you know, creating a value scale, and how directional light affects each plane, and more of that same stuff. These were from another book. Here, just give me a sec here. So these are done from a book by Alfonso Dunn, and it's pen and ink drawing workbook. And it's a workbook that you can work through the entire book. Like, I just drew right into my sketchbook, and that's what I was using to study. Or you could work directly into the book itself. That's one thing I could do too, is add the link to these books in the description. But I was interested by his approach, and yeah, been working through this book with other books as well, and yeah, just trying to get better and more confident at using pen and ink. And there's some studies of a buffalo and an armadillo. And then here we got some more just like looser. And as you can see, the transition from, first starting off in pencil, then moving to an underlining pen, and then moving into just straight pen. On the other side, you got drawing some blind contours. And the one thing that I've always heard about blind contours is it really does focus or force you to focus on observation and using your observation skills to just explore. And that's the end of this book. So yeah, thank you for your time, and if you want to see some more of the process of the sketchbook, just let me know. All right, have a good one.